Warning, this video does contain Gold Rush. But first, Tsunami. This is the second box gem collection video. You may remember Tsunami as being that level where I had absolutely no idea where the gem was, where those 3 boxes I missed were. And I didn't actually see them until about 6 or 7 attempts. So by the time you see this, I'd probably made 5 or 6 runs through the level trying to find out where those boxes I was missing were. And it turns out they were here. I mentioned last time that it can get a little paranoid sometimes, wanting to be sure that you've got all the boxes at a bonus level. And what you might not see below those TNT boxes was a load of dotted line boxes. And below, when you hit that box up there that fills in these boxes above the nitros, it fills in those TNT crates and that extra life crate below there. A giant dick move game. And you can see it as you're coming up into this Tsunami chase sequence. You can see the TNT sitting there if you actually look back at where the bonus stage is. You see them just sitting there taunting you like, you wanker. Yeah, I still like this level. I think it's one of the more fun chase sequences. Coco always seems to have great chase sequences. Whether it's with the tiger, there's great levels with the tiger in Crash 3. Coco just seems built for speed a lot of the time. Speaking of speed, or the lack of it, this is Smokey and the Bandicoot. And sticking to Crash 3 for a bit, people who played that game in the motorcycle levels will remember the age-old trick for getting the box gems on those levels. It's just let all your opponents get ahead of you, and then just take it slowly and grab the boxes, because you don't need first place to get the gem. Whereas the motorbike in Crash 3 though was tight and handled well, the Jeep handles like absolute arse. It is absolutely no use for the kind of precision driving you need for getting these boxes, which is why everything is very stop-start on this run. I'm being very careful not to drive past a box because there is no reverse gear. This is a horrible design decision, I feel. That if you've got a 4-wheeled vehicle, like on a bike, that's fair enough. But if you've got a 4-wheeled vehicle in a section where, in a 4-wheeled vehicle that handles like arse, and you've got a section where you need to hit a succession of small targets, surely it makes perfect sense that you would have a reverse gear, just to mitigate the frustration somewhat. And it is frustrating, because you go past a box and you're just there. Like, you are past the box's hitbox and you cannot go back to get it. You have to go into a pit and restart all over again. But eventually it's grabbed, and we move on to Fahrenheit Frenzy. After the helipack level in the secret warp zone, I'm not nearly as annoyed by this section, because I will freely accept a lot of the rage I was putting towards the helipack in the initial run of Fahrenheit Frenzy was down to maybe not having played the game in a while, being a bit rusty, as regards to its controls, and speaking of being rusty to its controls, I completely forgot them. This is how conditioned I'd become from the amount of runs I'd made of Smokey and the Bandicoot. I completely forgot that this thing had reverse gear. Yeah, once you've been doing stuff in the helipad at speed, the controls switch back to being second nature, and it's perfectly fine to handle. I still wouldn't call it fun, because the hitboxes can be a bit weird. The obstacles are sometimes a little vague of what will kill you and what won't. You would have seen in the first part of the level I was getting very close to those fire jets, and nothing was happening. But that's passed soon enough, and we can move on. Or not, as the case may be. A lot of deaths on this level. Lot of deaths. But nothing ever came too far from a checkpoint, so it doesn't get on your nerves. Like having those annoying learning obstacles, like, I'm not sure, but it's definitely the first time those fire jets appear in the game. It might be, actually no, it's not. They appeared in Impact Reactor. But those like toxic waste spraying guys, having those kind of hard to dodge obstacles appear very early in the level, or at least very close to a checkpoint, it's very smart, I think, because you're mitigating the frustration, reducing it at least. That might be the same word. I don't know. I need a thesaurus. Because you screw up, hey, the checkpoint is literally 3 seconds away. And up there, that is the box I missed going through this level the first time. It was just one box. I was a little paranoid about there being other boxes up there, but all for nothing. And on to the bonus. I think I covered this before, but it is pretty annoying, at least to my sense of semantics, that these are referred to as bonuses when, if you're going to complete the game properly, they are required. They're not additional, they are not extra, they are not optional. This is something you have to do. I think this one might be one of my favoured bonuses. I don't know if it's the fact that it's got some good platforming challenges, or just the fact that it's got a high amount of high explosives. But I have a lot of fun playing it. I would say I like the look of the level, but it's kind of off, seeing as I love pretty much any level that... I love pretty much any kind of level that is in this kind of technological style. I just think it allows for a lot of great... It allows for a lot of imagination and ingenuity when it comes to your obstacles. Because you're not bound by... oh, this could happen. This couldn't happen in the setting. Because it's the future. It's technology. And it's all made a bit better when you have a mad scientist as your series' main antagonist. Just because, what the hell wouldn't a mad scientist do? There's literally no boundaries to your imagination in this stuff. But, gem. And, yeah. Nothing has changed. No opinions have been altered by successive, lengthy playthroughs of this level. It is still an absolute garbage level. It is still way too long. It still contains pretty much all of the most obnoxious and hateful gimmicks in the game. There is still way too much stuff in here that is specifically there to slow you down. There's just, in my mind, there's no redeeming qualities to this level. It is garbage. It is arse. It is not only arse, it is arse of the smelliest, most unwiped variety. Bonus is kind of fun though. Just like the rest of it, the bonus is long. And it's too long with nothing interesting happening. Like, it's just jump to a platform, deal with the boxes, jump to the next platform, deal with the boxes, jump to the next platform, etc, etc, repeat ad fucking nauseum. Like, this video is 23 minutes long, and you'll notice we had the first 3 gems. We had 3 gems within 10 minutes. It's one of those things that really hammers home just how long and how slow this level is with nothing interesting happening. And the last level we have to deal with in the video is long as well, but it's long and fun. There's interesting stuff happening. There are interesting obstacles. It has an interesting look, a good setting, whereas this has nothing. Like, this is a setting we're not allowed to become attached to throughout the game because it only appears once. Whereas you look at like the medieval setting or any of the technological settings, and they appear in various guises throughout the entire game. But this just appears once. It's like Traveller's Tales knew it was garbage and decided, fuck it, stick it in the game anyway. Like, the thread's done some good stuff with regards to showing how lazy Traveller's Tales are, both by pointing out that the tornado spin noise is just the regular spin repeated, rather than the unique like rising in pitch noise that was in Crash 3. And I'll stop talking about Crash 3 at some point, I promise. But they're just to prove that this is one continuous attempt. I've gotten good at this level, if nothing else. So, continuing to be paranoid in this level, which just makes it slower because you're constantly stopping, constantly checking. What did that exclamation mark box do? Have I missed any boxes? Is anything hidden behind the foreground, which is all too common a trick? It's not a good trick. If your level design is actually obscuring game-relevant content, that is not a challenge. That is bad graphical design. I hate getting the third mask there. I hate getting invincibility there. Because well done, you got invincibility in one place where you can't just start sprinting through shit. Thankfully it's nearly over. Thankfully we are nearly entirely done with this level. Forever. For good. There somehow is me losing. And that last set of boxes there that you saw the exclamation mark box fill in, that was a set of nitros. So if you hit that exclamation mark box and immediately jump into the nitro switch, then you miss those boxes. Except you kind of don't, because you're going to have the Apple launcher by this point anyway, but it's still an annoying thing to have the timings that precise. Thankfully though, done with Gold Rush. Forever. And we can move on to more fun things, like the Atlasphere, and my favourite Atlasphere level, which thankfully doesn't get slowed down all that much by demanding a fine-tooth comb to grab all the boxes. There's only one stack of boxes that we missed going through this the first time, but when you see where they were hidden, it's kind of a dirty trick where the easily missed boxes in this level are. Because it's not somewhere you would think to go. They're off in a dead end, behind a lot of hazards, in an area that you can be shoved down into, so you're not thinking, oh, those hazards must be there for a reason. You're thinking, gee, if I get shoved down there, it's going to be a real pain in the arse to get back up. And like I said, fine-tooth comb. Just trying to find boxes. And then getting hit by flaming wheels. There are boxes there. This junction is a little misleading, because the nitro's on the side with all the boxes, and the boxes are on the side with all the nitros. It's a dirty trick, but I go through the nitro route anyway, and then go down the box route in reverse, and very nearly fall off. I think by all rights I should have fallen off there, because I was well over the edge. But I save it, because I am a total boss. No boxes down there, so it's a straight run across the plunges. See that huge run of nitros down there. It's kind of a good skill test if you're doing a challenge run, just to go along Nitro Road down there. There is temptation when you're going down these just to let fate decide, but that's going to end up dumping you in the water more often than not. And hitboxes on nitros, everybody. Thankfully, checkpoint not too far away. Now the regular route demands going up here to grab those boxes there, and then continuing along this way. So you see Tiny there? That's actually the only hint the game will give you that there is actually something worth getting at the end of that road. Nothing there. And finally, I take the hint. This area is just chock full of nitros, just begging you to go through them. And at the end, there is this row of boxes. 5 boxes. At least it's a ton of apples and 3 extra lives. Not that lives are ever a concern in this game. But it's a nice little bonus area until you actually need to get everything. And the tiny placement there is a dick as well, because you can't abuse the fact that he stops short of everything. And if you overdo your run around him, you're going to end up in water. Big box wall there though. It is my favourite thing about Atlasphere levels, just getting to smash through giant walls of boxes with absolute impunity. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the official term for the ball, the Atlasphere, is a gyrosphere. Or a gyro ball. I don't know, it's a gyro something. Not that anyone calls it that. You either call it a hamster ball or you call it an atmosphere, depending on whether or not you're brought up watching gladiators or not. And people of my age, my generation, i.e. the 90s, we were definitely brought up watching gladiators. Last set of boxes are down here. There's nothing particularly nasty about that set. I mean, the track extends behind you, so you can tell there is quite clearly something there. And we grab the gem and get to the exit. And that is it. That is every single gem. And we'll go to the pause screen to show 101% complete. All crystals, all powers, all gems, and I'll see you next time for the final relics. Bye bye.